I'll give the one I gave earlier. Now, the Bible says, when it comes to sacrificing of the children to Molech, that's always a good one. It says he did not command it. God calls it an abomination, and God says it didn't enter my heart for them to do it. So did God determine for them to do the thing that he did not command and the thing that he hates?
There are some things that are figurative language, metaphorical language, and that are not absolutely true.
Okay.
And some things are relatively true. Some things are true as to feeling, but they are not true as to fact. When God said to Adam, "Where are you?" He knew exactly where Adam was. But there are some things that are communicated in a figurative way.
Okay, so let me ask you then. If, when he says, he calls it an abomination, and he says, I didn't command it, nor did it enter in my heart, and that's figurative, okay, so what is it communicating if it's figurative? That he did command it, and he did want it, and it was something that pleased him?
The true core teaching of the entire Bible is Romans 11:36.
Okay, you're not answering my question. You're not answering my question.
All is out of him.
I'm not. Okay, you can't get away from the question now. Listen, I just asked a simple question, and I've been answering your question.
You're asking me.
I'm asking you. You're the one that said that it's okay, Ace. Now listen, you said it was figurative, so I'm trying to. What do you mean? So it's figurative when God says it's an abomination, and it's figurative when he says I did not command it, and it's figurative when he says it didn't enter my heart. So if that's figurative, does it mean he did want it, he did command it, and it did enter his heart?
All is out of him and through him and for him.
Okay, so you didn't answer my question. That's fine. We'll go to your text. Let me ask you a question. Is free will, can that be all of him? Didn't you say that he couldn't do that? So if I believe in free will, okay, your laughs just show that you don't have an answer. Now, other people are calling, Ace, so if you're not going to answer my questions, I'm going to let you go.
Your question is premised around this human concept of free will.
Okay, if you're not going to answer, I just asked you about the text. You said it was figurative. And so when you say it's figurative, I'm just asking you. When God says it's an abomination, that's figurative for what? That he actually likes it?
Oh, aren't you something? You're so special.
Okay, we have other callers. He doesn't want to answer the question.
So if I believe in the deity of God and you believe in the magnificence of man's human will and all that it can accomplish.
Is that what I said? Is that how I explained it? I'm just asking you how you define the word sovereignty. I mean,
all is of God.
Okay, I'm talking about, I believe all is of God, but you said that free will, and in whatever way you said it, is interfering with God's sovereignty. Well, what does sovereignty mean? How do you define sovereign?
Sovereign is a ruler. God rules.
Okay, so...
And the free willers teach that man rules.
Man rules what?
I don't know.
So you mean like in Psalms?
The free willers believe that if a sinner goes to hell, he can only blame himself.
The Bible blames him. I don't see why you should have a problem with it. Well, you can laugh, but that's... Okay, so my question is, I agree with your definition. You said God rules. The definition of sovereignty, and that's a good definition, God has all authority. So is God authorized, Ace? Now, I know you don't believe that he does this. I'm just asking you if he can, if he has the authority to. Does God have the authority? Is God sovereign enough to give man free will if he wants?
Can God make a rock so big that he can't pick it up? It's kind of a stupid question.
Okay, no, I think that's not the question. The question is, can God make a rock that he chooses not to move?
It's still a stupid question.
Okay, so, it's not a stupid question. Can God give a man...
Did God create?
It's not a stupid question because you haven't answered. Is God... You're the one that said God is sovereign, which we both agree on. But I don't think that you really think he's so sovereign that he can give man the freedom to choose without forcing his decision. Can God choose to not force man's decision one way or the other? Can he or can he not? I'm not asking you if he does. I know you don't believe he does. I'm just asking you if he can. Does he have enough authority that he can decide not to force man's decision?
Those words are so vague that it's like stepping through a landmine area.
It's a simple question.
It's not a simple question.
Ace, it's very simple. This is why you're having problems. God either can choose to not force your decision, or he can choose to force your decision. Now, if you ask me, can God force a man's decision and cause him and determine him to choose a way where that he couldn't choose any other way? I'll say yes, he has the authority.
And he has done it plenty of times.
Okay, now I'm asking you why you can't answer the question then. My question is just as simple. Does God have the authority to allow the man to make his own choice and to not force man's choice? Does he have the authority or does he not?
It's not within the realm of possibility, because if God makes man, then God makes man.
I didn't ask if he made... we all believe he made man. He can make man's will free too, right? Can God make a man and allow him the power to choose without forcing his choice?
The word force is the questionable word.
Okay, let me change it. Let me change it, Ace.
God makes man, and there are limitations on his understanding and his influence and his capabilities, then that is a force to deal with. When Peter talked to the Jews and the Pharisees in the 3rd chapter of the book of Acts, he said, "You crucified Christ out of ignorance." You cannot have a free will if you're acting out of ignorance. You're acting out of ignorance.
Okay. You didn't answer my, you're not answering my question.
Situation.
You're not answering my question, so let's just go to some text.